Yeah. Oh, no. You most certainly can.
Welcome back. This is Let's Have a Real Conversation podcast with
Dashing D, cause yeah, that's me, the king of R&B.
Holler. And I am JD, aka He Who Pods.
That's us.
That's us.
And this is our pod.
Oh, we back to that?
What? I didn't mean anything.
Oh, because last time you're like, and this is our pod.
No, that time I was
and this is our pod. All right. Well, you can introduce whatever you want to start with, showrunner.
I mean, I just wanna say real quick that my voice is raspy. I don't know why. I wasn't yelling. I wasn't at a concert or anything like that. I wasn't at a baseball game. I wasn't at a sporting event. I didn't do anything to make my voice raspy. I'm not sick.
You sure?
Allergies. Sometimes allergies will kick your ass. Is that too soon for some ass?
No. It's never too soon for some ass.
You're right. You're right. Anyway, I just wanted to say that because, I'm a little raspy over here. On some raspy shit. Lil' Kim.
I was waiting for you to say more parts, but
Couldn't remember the words.
Now, I was thinking of Jada Kiss and Mariah Carey. He said, Mr. Raspy, thought I was in love with money to the first time we did the nasty.
Oh, yep, he did say that. Well, shout out to all of them.
You cannot whisper if you have no voice.
Shout out to all of them. Let's get started. Starting on a somber note today.
Okay. I mean, I'm already tearing, so we might as well.
Right. So, Suzanne Somers passed away.
I know, and I didn't even bring my Thigh Master with me.
You should have.
I could have been giving y'all a demonstration on the pod.
This is the perfect day to work on those thunder thighs.
You know what I'm saying? Okay? Never a bad time to work on the thunder thighs.
Never.
You feel what I'm saying?
Never. But Suzanne Somers I feel like she was very important in terms of like childhood and like watching TV shows. I've said on the pod before that I was an insomniac, still am.
Yep.
And I would watch Nick at Night.
Sorry, I don't know what's going on.
You good?
Yeah.
I would watch Nick at Night, and Three's Company was one of my jams.
Three's Company too.
Yeah. Come and knock on my door. I'll be waiting for you. Three's Company too.
It's gonna be that kind of pod, y'all. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, and then there was step by step.
Step by step.
TGIF.
Day by day.
Yep.
First start over and a different every day or something like that.
The people we love, the stronger we stay. We'll make it better the second time around.
Yep. That was the good joint.
And then you see the roller coaster scene.
Yep.
TGIF was like pivotal in our lives.
It sure was.
It was
Step by Step, Family Matters. It was like 4 shows
World.
back to back.
Yeah. Boy
Meets World was part of TGIF?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't remember that.
For a long time, the Wonder Years was a part of it.
Yes.
It used to be the last. They would put that show at the end. I don't know if people dropped off at that point. Because I liked the Wonder Years.
It was a big show in the 80s. Not so much when we were coming up.
Yeah.
I think there was kind of like the reruns and people weren't as into it.
Yeah, but Boy Meets World, it was like that 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. block. And you're right about those shows. But Boy Meets World was one of them. And then there was something else that I can't remember.
Suzanne Somers.
I mean, she was there.
She was there.
And
there were Thigh Master commercials in that TGIF block.
How could you not?
For sure.
Not? Cornering the market in primetime television.
That's it. That's how you gotta do it.
Mm-hmm.
Cornering the market in allergy medication. We doing good.
Listen, right?
We need like Zyrtec or Allegra to sponsor this episode.
Because the allergies are crazy, okay? They are crazy right now. I hate this transitional period when summer has ended and fall has begun. I always end up like this.
Yeah, you definitely sound like you was cheering for someone. Like you was out there like, Brooklyn!
And I wasn't.
It sounded like they was like, is Brooklyn in the house?
Holla!
And you was like, yeah!
I definitely wasn't doing that.
I don't know what happened.
I definitely wasn't doing that. But you know, I'm trying to work on it. You know, I'm sipping my tea. You know, I'm trying to do the things that people do to get their voice back. So.
That's right. All right, all of that to say, rest in peace, Suzanne Somers.
Yes, of course.
Rest in peace, Suzanne Somers.
You know, we appreciate your contributions.
I did a little pinch of research.
Yeah.
She had like 40 books.
Really?
Did not know she had mad. I didn't know she had any books.
I think I knew that she had at least
4
one.
were like autobiographies. Mm-hmm. Putting out 4 autobiographies is gangster.
That's pretty amazing. I mean, especially when you've lived a long life. Like 4, I'm
about to drop my first autobiography. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, listen, you got to do it like quarters of your life.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Every time you hit a life quarter, you should do a book. Definitely.
I kind of passed my first quarter.
That's so. Okay. You can do.
So 2. I got to work on that one.
You can do like a part 1 and a part 2. Part 1 will be through 25. Part 2 will be through 50. You've got time for that one.
I got time for that second one. Not a lot though.
All right. Don't rush things, okay?
I don't have a lot of time for the second one.
Don't rush it. You've got plenty of time on the second one, okay?
Yeah, I know I'm 83. You know what I'm saying?
That book is basically not even written yet. The story hasn't even happened yet.
Right.
But anyway, so a little callback. We talked about Oppenheimer. Some weeks back.
Yes, we did.
Christopher Nolan film.
Yeah.
So we have an update on. First of all, did we ever talk about the fact that it hit $1 billion?
It has not hit $1 billion.
It hasn't yet.
It is like
right
right there.
Did.
No, it's right there, but it hasn't hit $1 billion.
Damn.
I know.
I thought it did. But yeah, the DVD and the digital release is going to have some additional features.
I'm really excited because it's gonna have 3 mother flipping hours.
Yeah.
And y'all know what I want to say.
Of additional footage?
Of additional footage.
Okay.
So there's a 70-minute behind the scenes special feature, the making of the film.
Oh, I like that.
And that's cool.
But
let me tell you what you're really about to be excited about.
What's that?
There's an Oppenheimer doc included on the DVD.
You had me at doc. Listen.
Excuse the left.
I will watch a documentary, okay?
That's why I knew. That's what I said. I know what you're really about to be excited about.
I will watch a documentary of any kind. I mean, I have my favorites. Y'all know I love cult docs. But
well, I thought about you this weekend.
I love to hear about people being in the sex cult. I know it's wrong. Cause I'm like, how? How did this happen? How did we get here? What were you gonna say? You thought about me because of what?
I was at an event. I won't say what event or where, but I was at an event, and people were speaking about their experiences as survivors.
Okay.
And I'm trying to survive this contact right now.
Apparently.
And a woman was telling her story.
Yeah.
And part of her story was she was in a cult.
Man, I wish I was there.
I was in the middle of a conversation. I was like, yeah, because...
I would love to meet someone who was in a cult.
What? Yeah, did she just say? They were like... And then they asked me back.
If you were in a cult and you would like to be interviewed on this podcast, let me know.
Oh, yeah. We would definitely do that.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely. If you want to tell your story, hell, if you were involved in Scientology and left, let us know.
I don't think any of those people watch our pod, but all right.
Well, if they left, maybe, you know.
I don't know, but yeah, the young woman said, well, she ain't even really young, but she's slightly older than us, you know.
Yeah.
And she was telling her story about being in a cult. That was like a little slither of the story.
Interesting.
He's like, yeah, I really believed in this guy. And then, you know, because that's what cults do, right? They always make it seem like there's a bigger cause. And so I believed in the bigger cause, and I didn't know it was a cult. And I was like, this is the doc.
I
was like, this is the doc.
That's next to him.
I gotta go. Just kidding. Moving right along.
Listen, okay? If y'all need a list of cult docs, I got you.
Oh yeah, you got them.
Because
you be asking me about cult docs, and I'm like, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
Oh my goodness, I just don't understand. It is so fascinating to me because I don't understand how it happens. But anyway, there's gonna be a document. There's gonna be an Oppenheimer documentary. I like that.
I think that's pretty cool.
So, when is that coming out?
Oh, soon? I think in November.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. Because the article said it was coming out in a few weeks, and the article was just the other day, so I think it's November.
Okay. I'm excited about that. I also kind of want to see it again, like in the privacy of my own home, where I can,
Absolutely.
I can pause it and I can,
write down my notes, you know what I'm saying?
Right, like, yeah.
I'm like, oh, yep,
Yeah, because sometimes for me that's easier, like, than watching it at the theater. It's just straight through. I'm a girl who likes to rewind. I like to put the captions on. I really want to absorb what I'm watching. So,
same.
'cause I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to stuff like that. So I think that'll be really cool to rewatch the film.
I have to watch it by myself this last time.
Yeah.
Because if anyone watches with me, they're going to be super fucking annoyed. Because I'm going to be pausing this shit a lot to take notes.
No, I understand. I do.
So.
I do.
I have to watch it. This fourth time, I got to watch it by myself.
You've seen it a million times. I've only seen it once.
I mean, I met somebody who said they saw it 5 times in theaters. I said, man, you've got a lot of free time.
Yeah.
Because that's like 18 hours, 15 hours.
Yeah, that's a lot of times.
Because then you got to previews before each one.
Mm-hmm.
Get your popcorn and all that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time in the theater.
You're right. And I don't know about that. I don't know if I could do that. But I respect that person for doing what they did. Because sometimes you got to do what you got to do. That wouldn't have been me. But there's also films that I've seen a million times.
Were they 3 hours?
No.
Exactly.
But what I will do is watch like a number 1 and a number 2 in one sitting.
Oh, I got what you're saying.
Yeah. So, I'm corny, but like Father of the Bride, I could watch both movies in one sitting very easily.
Got it.
I've seen it a million times. Sometimes I watch it before bed because it's just easy it's really easy to watch. Sister Act. I could watch.
2 is the best one.
Well, 2 is better. I heard 3 is finally coming out, by the way. I don't want to see that. I'm not interested, but 1 and 2. Okay, so here's the thing, right? 2 is obviously better for so many different reasons. But 1 sets it up. So like when you're really in the mood to watch it, 1 is actually not a bad idea because it sets you up for what happens in 2, and I like that. I enjoy it.
Oh, no, that's cool. My wave off was at number 3.
No, I know.
We don't need a number 3 all these years later.
I'm just saying why I can watch it in one sitting.
Oh, yeah, I dig that.
But yeah, I mean, there's other ones too, but those stick out to me. But yeah, I don't want to see number 3. I'm not interested. But apparently now that the writer's strike is over, it's coming. I think by the end of the year, probably.
Oh, so it's done and everything?
I think so, yeah. Someone was telling me about it the other day.
I had no idea.
But I didn't do my own research, so I can't say for sure. But I'm pretty sure they said it's coming out maybe in November. So we'll see.
I'll be skipping that one.
Yeah, I think I'm going to skip it. But then again, I'm like the weirdo that like needs to see what they did next.
When it goes on Disney Plus.
I don't think it's going to be in theaters. I think it will be on Disney Plus.
Oh, then whatever. I don't care. I meant in theaters.
Excuse me. Raspy shit. Talking nasty shit. Is that what she says? I don't know. Okay. Anyway, speaking of the writer's strike.
Oh, I think you say speaking of nasty shit. Let's see. This is not the Sexual Intellectual Podcast.
No.
And we're not up to Jada Pinkett yet.
No, we are not. But we're going to get there. But first, the actor's strike. Still going on.
They made a historical mark, which we've passed now.
Right.
But it was 100 days. Mm-hmm. I saw an article, and it said this is historic. 100 Days is a big deal, and it was about like how it affected Hollywood. I think it's really interesting. I mean, we've kind of discussed that here, right? How nothing's really been able to come out, and promo has been different, and so a lot of things have changed.
Yeah. It's interesting, too, because there are actors who can do certain things, but they can't do other things. They had to kind of, I guess, make some allowances because of the fact that the WGA strike is over now. I think some of them, like, that have written books can promote their books. They just can't promote their films. It's weird. The whole thing is weird, but, you know, they have very strict... Right, they have very strict rules about solidarity and...
It's from a movie or a TV show. Rules is rules.
I don't know about that, but yeah. So...
I thought it was interesting. SAG-AFTRA, you sent it to me, actually. They put out a statement saying that, you know...
We still
on strike. They won't budge. They're actually trying to bring our stuff down.
Yep.
And they've walked away from the negotiation table.
They did say that.
And I think that's really, really dumb.
Yeah.
Because you can have all the writers come back, but if you ain't got no actors, I don't know what all those projects are going to do.
Right. And all the writers are going to be acting.
They can't.
I know, it was a joke.
Oh, my bad.
It was a bad joke, but it was a joke.
I didn't know. I'm sorry. It went like that.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a good one, but you know, whatever. But you know, since we're here, actors, we might as well talk about Will and Jada.
I need some coffee.
And do you think, let me take a sip of my tea. So, rewind to 2 weeks ago. A clip comes out for an interview that Jada Pinkett Smith did with Hoda Kotb,
who I've never heard by name ever.
Really?
Until that day.
So interesting.
I was like, who the what? Hoda how? Who's a hoe?
All right. Hoda.
Why y'all calling that lady a hoe, man? Stop that.
Hoda.
Then I was all like, oh, that's her name.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's her name.
So I'm dumb. Oh.
That's her name.
Misinformed. Uninformed.
Exactly. So Hoda does this interview. Hoda is one of the hosts of the Today Show. Hoda does this interview for NBC News with Jada Pinkett Smith. Jada Pinkett Smith is currently... or was on a press run.
Well, it's still going.
Well, I didn't know. So
it's still going.
At this time, it was like the beginning. It was basically the launch of her book tour.
Yeah, for her memoir.
For her memoir called Worthy, which interesting fact from the interview was she said originally she was going to call her book Unlovable.
I saw that clip.
And yeah, she said she was going to call it Unlovable, but then she decided that she's in a different place now, and she's in a place of feeling worthy. So she called it Worthy instead of Unlovable. There's things I want to say, but I'll say them off pod.
Say them. No, this is your platform, you know.
No, there's things I can't say here. I was gonna make a very general statement, and I can't. So yeah, so. I just thought it was interesting that that's what she wanted to call the book. A lot of things came from this interview that they put behind a paywall, which...
They did?
Yeah. You can only access it on Peacock.
Oh. That's really interesting.
Yeah, which annoyed me because, okay, so you either watched it when it ran... Live in... NBC prime time. I think it ran at 8 o'clock on a Friday evening. And then I couldn't find it because I don't have cable. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to go on YouTube and get the interview. No, couldn't find it anywhere. Yeah. All you were finding was, I think,
little clips.
2 or 3 clips that they released.
Yeah.
And that was it. And it was the thing about the book title. And there's also the big clip that went viral that was...
Can't forget that.
Her saying that
since 2016,
her and Will have been separated.
And the last clip that has been circulating.
And she was confused as to why he referred to her as his wife.
During the slap.
Which, let's pull over. You know that you were going out publicly with this man and pretending to the public that you guys were fine. So don't say that on national television you were confused about why he referred to you as his wife. He referred to you as his wife because, one, you are in fact still his wife, and two, y'all were pretending that y'all weren't separated. I'll go a little bit deeper on all of that on Hardly, the next episode of Hardly. We're not going to do that here because that's not what we do here. But check out Hardly Minding My Business at the end of this week because I'm going to get into these dynamics anyway.
Not the dynamics.
I am because, like I said, I won't get into it, but there's a lot to unpack there.
I don't think so, but I hear you.
I think so. It's something I can relate to personally. That's why I'm like,
Okay. Well.
But you were intentionally going out with your husband and making people in the public think that y'all were still happily married. And
well,
to be
and maybe
fair,
not happily.
Was still married.
And maybe not happily, but still married. Because this was after what she called it, entanglement.
Right, but even
so
when...
So maybe not happy, but still together.
But even when entanglement happened, they sat there and they laughed at the things people were saying about them. Like, we're good. We're past that. We're great.
Yeah, but we saw that red table talk.
And that's what I'm talking about. The red table talk was when they did that.
Yeah, but we saw Will about to cry.
Sure, but my point here is not what really was, it's what they portrayed. Okay. And they portrayed something that was, oh, we're good, we're solid, we're this, we're that. They tried to mislead the public.
And now she's gone on national TV.
And she's and then pretended, oh my gosh, she went back, this is what annoyed me. And then this is what annoyed me. She went back on the Today Show, So the interview comes out on Friday. The clip had gone viral.
Yes.
The interview comes out on Friday. I think it was either... The clips went viral earlier in the week, so I'm pretty sure it was the same Friday that the interview was supposed to come out. She goes on the Today Show, and she's like, ha ha ha, Hoda, I never said that we weren't trying to work things out. We're trying to work things out.
We all saw her say they're separated.
Right. Then she apparently went back on the Today Show another time, either the Monday or the Tuesday.
A third time.
Yeah. So there was like some serious damage control happening here. Whatever. I know we're not really here to gossip, but I think it was important for us to bring it up because we did a whole deep dive on Will Smith's slap back when it happened last year.
Yes.
Or was it this year? The beginning of this year?
Who cares?
A lot of people said he did it for nothing.
He didn't do it for nothing.
Agree.
He did it for many reasons. Mm-hmm. Number one, which I said back then, Will Smith was getting smacked around. Mm-hmm. Theoretically, mm-hmm. by the media, the public. After the August Alsina thing happened,
yep.
He was getting smacked around. And the red table talk, which I think they thought was going to help that, made it worse. Mm-hmm. And so, as I said, when we spoke about it, whenever it happened, Will was not smacking Chris Rock because of what Chris Rock did. Uh-huh. It was the straw that broke the camel's back. Yeah. Or, rather, in my opinion, it was I'm going to hit someone because I can't hit everyone. If I hit this man on a public platform and everyone sees it, maybe everyone will fall back.
Right.
That's number one. Number two, fast forward to today, I think they've been playing us from the beginning.
Agree.
I think his presence on Instagram, the jumping out of planes and, you know, being on the bridges and doing the Drake whatever challenge thing.
Smoke and mirrors.
I think it was all media manipulation.
Yeah.
I think it was, we are going to do whatever we have to do to distract you and keep our names circulating. As we circulate, we're going to get different streams of income. That led to his book. Right after his book, what we get? The entanglement.
No, the entanglement happened before the book.
You sure? Well, it's all intertwined is my point.
Because I think his book came out last year and the entanglement happened while everybody was still on lockdown.
There you go. So, it's all intertwined, right?
I remember doing an episode on it.
We have the entanglement. We have his book. We have the Red Table Talk. We have the smack at the Oscars. Now we have her book. And there's talks about them putting out a book together now.
Yeah, I heard that.
This has all been us being puppets and them pulling the strings as we sit there and gossip and question and rumor and debate. And they've just been raking in all the dollars.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear any more about these two. If I was Chris Rock, I would do one of two things. Maybe three things. One, I'd look at a legal team and see what legal action can I take against these people who are still using my name and likeness to gain popularity.
Oh, right, because that was the other clip.
She said, there's two things she said that went viral about Chris Rock specifically. One, she said she was shocked that Will said, "Keep my wife's name out your effing mouth," because he had not referred to her as his wife in a long time. That's the first thing. The second thing she said was, well, I guess it's three things. That right after the smack, Chris said, "I'm sorry, it was just jokes. I didn't know he was going to do that. I didn't mean to offend you," whatever. And she said she brushed it off. That's the second thing. The third thing was
Will was getting more upset.
Right.
While Chris Rock was trying to talk to her.
Right. And the third thing was, she says some years ago, when the rumors first started circulating that they were not together, Chris called her and tried to ask her out. "Yo, fam, y'all making a lot of money off my name.
Right.
Y'all making me look real bad, pup. This could be defamation of character. This could be a lot of different things. Emotional damage. I mean, you know that's the favorite one." Right? And so, one, he if I was him, I would consider legal action. Number two, ain't Chris Rock from Brooklyn?
Is he? I can't remember.
Chris Rock is from the hood. We know that. Maybe it's time to call up a couple friends. I would consider it.
Oh, you would consider doing it for him?
No, I'm saying if I was him, I would consider calling a few friends.
Oh, the goons.
I'm just saying call a few friends. I don't want any legal action taken towards me. And so I'm just going to say I would consider taking some street action. And the third is, everybody do these celebrity fights now.
Oh, I hate that. I don't care for that, but I hear you.
I would challenge Will Smith.
Do a duel?
To a duel. I will find him at the local pub, pull my gloves out of my pocket, and I challenge you to a duel. That's it. Now, I wouldn't fight him in a pub, obviously, but there's a lot of different places right now doing celebrity boxing matches. Right. Yo, get in the gym.
You wasn't with me shooting in the gym?
Different kind of gym, but yes. Get in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Get your weight up. And see what's up. I'm sure you got a celebrity boxing friend. You know, you might know Ocho Cinco or somebody.
Chad.
It's not his name anymore. He legally changed it to Ocho Cinco. Like years ago. Oh, he changed his last name. I'm sorry. He is still Chad. He's Chad Ocho Cinco. I forgot. Sorry.
I don't know. I just...
Because he originally was Chad Johnson. Then the nickname Ocho Cinco came. And then at one point, he legally changed it to Ocho Cinco.
His black mama named him Chad.
It's another conversation for another pod, another time.
But you see why I asked that question, right?
I'm not here for that. I'm here to talk about Will Smith. I will call one of my friends in Hollywood. Chris Rock has a lot of friends.
And ask them why Ocho Cinco's. Never mind. Maybe they know. Maybe they know. Do you know?
I would consider those three things.
Mm-hmm.
Legal action, street action, fisticuffs.
So, just got to be about that action.
One of those three.
Yeah.
Whichever one Chris Rock wants, that's his business, that's his choice. His body, his choice. You feel me? But I would consider one of these three. Because this got to stop. Come on. In the name of white Jesus.
Do I have Usher? Usher? The patron.
You better be careful before Usher attacks you. Usher would
saint,
jump right off of that wall.
The patron saint of let's have a real conversation. What do you think about that?
Yo. Anyway, it got to stop. They got to stop talking about Chris Rock.
Jesus had olive skin.
They got to stop talking about Chris Rock. I don't want to see them anymore circulating.
Yeah, I don't really care.
I don't want to hear
I don't care.
Married, not married, open relationship, different houses. I don't give a flying fuck.
I'm curious about the book though.
Well, you enjoy that?
I'm curious.
I don't want anything to do with either one of them. Like,
I've been battling.
She ain't been hot since 86. All right, maybe 96. Maybe 96.
I don't think that's true because...
And him?
Because...
Come on, man. Go make a good movie and shut the fuck up. I don't want to see you laying down while you got your notes. My notifications are off. If they were off, you wouldn't even know to do that video.
Right. But I guess...
Come on.
First of all, I don't agree with she hasn't been hot since 86. I think that...
96. When was Set It Off?
I don't remember. I mean, she's done Red Table Talk in recent years, which was very popular, and the only reason it doesn't
that was
exist
during all of this.
Sure, but
that's what I'm saying.
Before all of this too, because she was doing Red Table Talk for a while.
It started doing all of this. Red Table Talk and Will Smith on Instagram happened around the same time. Okay, I will say that
Red Table Talk happened, in like 2018?
Same time Will Smith got on Instagram, right before.
Oh, but I guess my question is, you saying she hasn't been hot since 96. You mean physically, like she doesn't look good anymore?
No,
or do you mean she's just
not commenting at all on her looks. Okay. I'm talking about
I didn't think
in
so.
Hollywood.
She hasn't been popular.
From 96 to Red Table Talk, she was a ghost.
She didn't do other movies? Wasn't she in The Matrix? One of them? I'm asking questions. I really don't know, and I don't have my phone to...
She was in Matrix 2 and 3, yes.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure it out.
That was like 2003.
I truly do not know, because normally when
I think
it was
Matrix 99,
I have my phone
Matrix 2 2001, Matrix 3 2003, 4. Point is, from 05, let's be nice. Let's say 05 is not 05, but let's say 05 to 2018. Them 13 years, you was just Will Smith's wife.
Okay. I said, okay. Why are you looking at me like that? Like I did something.
I had a thought. I was about to, take this somewhere else. But, my point is, let's just come back to what we talking about this for. The slap was not for nothing. The slap was part, in my opinion, of this whole big scheme.
Okay.
And I will say, as a person who's interested in business, they have given us a blueprint for media manipulation and how to stay hot in the streets. Mm-hmm. If you want it, it's nasty. But they gave it to us. Mm-hmm. All you got to do is tweet about your dead ex, have sex with your son's friend.
Okay, wait, hold on.
No, I'm making jokes.
No, I know you're making jokes. However, I think one thing that did come out of this is that there's been more conversation around Tupac. And just so we're clear, because I don't want us to spread misinformation, and I feel like a lot of misinformation has been spread around Jada and Tupac. Jada and Tupac were never in a relationship. Jada and Tupac met. All right.
But she has posted a lot of Tupac stuff about her love for him.
I was about to explain it to you.
Go ahead.
Jada and Tupac met as kids. They met in high school.
Okay.
And were friends. Apparently they were inseparable. And there was even another guy that was also a part of it. It was like the three of them who were always together. She liked the guy and was trying to get with the guy, not Tupac. She did say, because that came out, that they kissed one time and it wasn't, they were like, why do we do this? Because they weren't attracted to each other. They realized they weren't attracted to each other in that way. But they remained friends, best friends. So, yes, she talks about him. And you could form an opinion on whether you agree with the way she speaks about him or not, right? But I think the clarification that I have gotten is that she never said they were in a relationship. We assumed they were in a relationship because of the way she speaks about him. She speaks very affectionately about him because of how close they were. I can understand, just to shoot her some bail, I guess. I can understand being best friends with someone for a really long time, since childhood, and you guys are coming up together and everything in the industry, and then they die. And you continue to talk about them and keep their name alive because you guys were that close. Now, I think that it eclipses her relationship with Will sometimes. I think that the way she speaks about Tupac, while she may not be trying to be damaging, I think that because public perception is what it is and people are left to fill in blanks where they don't know the full story, I think that she did leave herself vulnerable to criticism about her marriage as it pertains to her affection for Tupac, because she does talk about Tupac a lot. It was even off-putting to me. Like, even when the book came out last week, and something that went viral was that Tupac had alopecia too, and I was like, Tupac is not here. Why are we doing this?
Rest in peace, Tupac.
Sure, yes, rest in peace, Tupac. But I just feel like I just want to I want to speak about it the right way. I don't want to misinform people. And I think that she did admit, I don't remember, I have it screenshot in my phone. She did another interview where she said, I see how I have contributed to the problem as far as the public goes and why people don't trust us, because I contributed to the narrative of misinformation. I'm paraphrasing, but she did say that because I think she realized, like, she's the one who created this confusion. She's the one who comes out every now and again and says these things, and it's like kind of direct, but then it's kind of vague, and then we're like, what's in between? And honestly, it's not really any of our business, if we're being honest, but you brought it to the public, so now we're involved, whether we want to be or not. So I just wanted to make that distinction about Tupac. I understand that the way she speaks about him, it's very easy for us to think that her and Tupac were lovers, or apparently they were not. And this is it. When she comes out and speaks about him publicly, it creates this gross exaggeration of what their relationship was.
Are you finished? I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah, I'm done.
I don't believe shit Jada or Will say anymore. Period.
Okay.
I'm not buying none of this shit.
Okay.
You was with Tupac or not, I never cared. And at this point, I don't believe shit she says or Will Smith says. The problem is, like you said, they brought it to us. We never asked about Tupac. We never asked for the box of stuff that he had, that you had of his. We never asked for the secret letters he wrote you, the poems, you writing poems for it. Yo, we never asked for none of that. We didn't ask to be introduced to your marriage. We didn't ask to know that August Alsina sucked you like a mango pit. We know none of that. It's a joke. When the Red Table Talk happened, a lot of people were making memes of Jada. And one of them was a voiceover that said, him suck me like a mango pit.
It just caught me off guard, that's all.
Yeah, but nobody asked for any of that. Y'all have done this. And like I said, I think they've put a master class on. That's what I was saying before you jumped in about the Tupac thing. It's all been a master class of how to grossly stay in people's mouths. How to grossly stay in circulation. They have taken low-hanging fruit and used it at scale. Everything from jumping out of planes, like I was saying, I was going over the list. All of it is low-hanging fruit. It's whack. It's weird. It worked. Great business. Very corny as people.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Okay. I got you. Appreciate your candor.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
Truth and sarcasm.
What did you say?
Truth and sarcasm.
Truth and, okay. No, I just didn't hear you. Sorry.
It's all good.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wanted to point that out because it was a thing it's come up a lot, and there's been like even 50 Cent some weeks back said something about how she treats him bad because she talks about Tupac. I think Will had even said something like, I don't care about that she talks about him. So I don't know. I just figured it was worth saying because I think that a lot of people think that. But yeah. Well, we're now entering the music portion of the show.
Yep.
You want to talk about Drake?
Never. No, I'm just kidding. Since I come off as the Drake hater, I was trying to embrace it.
Oh, you know, you were just lying for the pod.
No, I was just being silly.
Okay, well.
I don't mind talking about Drake, but I'm still going to put a little bit of hate on his name.
Well, Drake had reached a milestone recently.
He sure did. He now has... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you can take it.
Go ahead.
Take it, Jack.
I don't know if I've heard that before, but all right.
I don't know. That was on the fly.
That was your... Back to you, Jim.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, Drake now has the most Billboard #1s.
Yeah.
He has surpassed Mike.
Of a male artist.
Oh, I didn't know they were broken down. Why do they do that?
Yeah, it's not of all time. It's of a male artist.
Oh, all right, whatever. But Drake has passed Michael Jackson, and he said he'd do it. And I think it's very interesting that the song that did it
was this song that features J. Cole.
It's J. Cole's song.
Oh, it is J. Cole's song.
No, you're right. It features J. Cole. But last pod I said it's pretty much J. Cole's song.
Right, because J. Cole showed up and Drake did not.
Yeah.
He phoned it in. Yeah. I mean, good for him.
Sure.
You know, he passed Michael Jackson.
Yep.
Which is really interesting.
Yep.
Can you believe, though, that we're at that point where, I mean, now that Michael Jackson has been gone for so many years, that people are actually breaking his records?
I mean, these things happen, right?
Course.
Like, we have an affinity for a certain group of people in every industry because they were our heroes or our favorites. The same thing happens with like sports. There's a lot of records that were put in the 90s that have been surpassed by people today.
Right.
And so, I mean, it's going to happen. And it's going to be kind of challenging for us who have an affinity for those people, right? Like, a lot of people feel bitter about LeBron James surpassing Michael Jordan in certain categories. Yeah. But this is going to happen. LeBron's been playing almost 20 years.
And Michael Jordan has not. But that's kind of the point that I'm trying to make, is that we've gotten to the point where enough time has passed, because unfortunately we lost Michael Jackson when we did. So it's not like he's been consistently putting out music since then. Right?
It's not Tupac.
No, he's not Tupac. He hasn't been consistently putting out music since then. So at some point, somebody was going to pass him, because he's not creating music at this point. Right. Same thing with Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Michael Jordan's not playing anymore.
Right.
If no one passed him, that would be a little concerning, no? So, makes sense. But I think it's really interesting, because when was that? Like 2009 when he passed away? Like, that's how long it's been at this point.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, so really interesting. Good for Drake.
Yeah, I also think, in sports and in media, overall times have changed. Yeah. And so the way things are done is very different. And so with that, we're going to have new people rising to the top and new people ushering in a new regime. You know what I'm saying? The way basketball is played today is very different than the way basketball was played in the 90s. They've moved certain things, rules have changed. And I'm not saying that to downplay LeBron, but I'm just saying we have to be honest that there are differences. And the same thing goes with the people who in the 90s were selling CDs and vinyl versus the people who are streaming now, right? And I think that that's part of the changes, is what I'm saying. I'm not trying to hate on Drake or LeBron. I'm just saying that, to me, these things we're going to have new champions,
right, and
new record holders, because the game has changed. Yeah. And as the changes come, those who are part of that new regime, they're going to be playing the game differently, because it's by nature, right? You don't really know the old, or maybe the old was just as you came in.
Right.
You know? So when Drake came in the game, streaming was already starting.
Right.
You know? It wasn't what it is today. But he came in at, I won't say the inception, but maybe at the infancy stages of streaming, right? And LeBron, some people say the rules changed because of him, because of different people. I think that's a separate conversation. But LeBron also became part of the new regime of basketball, right? Where there was a time when we had like Kobe, Shaq, Mike, all of these humongous titans of the game, and they're gone. And so it's natural for a new predator to be the alpha, as they say, right? And so, yeah, I think it's weird for us because we're a little older, right? And so we remember, like, oh man, you heard the new Mike? Like, you know what I mean? The new Michael Jackson song? Like, we remember Butterflies and Rock My World and all of these, songs. And the other ones too. Like, I remember the time and all of that stuff.
And so when the video came out,
right? And
that
so
was like a big deal. Like,
it really was.
To sit in front of the TV and watch the premiere of the video.
Absolutely. And
Do you remember video premieres?
Of course. I was actually about to say that. I was about to say today there is no video premiere. Oh the video drops the same day as the song a lot of times.
Vivo tried to do that for a while.
They did.
And it didn't work.
And then YouTube was like, hey, just let us buy it. We got it.
Right. But they tried to do the video premiere thing for a while. But, oh my gosh, video premieres were like...
It was a big deal.
It was a big deal.
Yeah. Some of them, are like the top artists, they were a huge thing with, like, commercials and everything, right?
Or, like, at the end of the Grammys, there would be, like, a video premiere, or...
Absolutely.
Like, sometimes 106 in Park, you'd have to, like, wait until the end, and then they'll show you the video. Like,
it would be, like, the top 5 songs... Sometimes between 5 and 3, they drop a brand new exclusive. Yeah. And that would be like in one of those spots. Or even sometimes it was like, all right, before we show you number 1, new video from Dash. You'd be like, oh shit, new video from Dash?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Now they just dropped the same day as the song. And so, all of that to say, yes, congratulations to Drake. We have to respect what he's done. And like I said last pod, which when me and your brother were discussing the run Drake has been on, we can't ignore or try to downplay what Drake has done, right? Whether we like him or not. Whether we like the songs that are number one or not. Whether we feel like it's a different time, none of that matters. The run he has had, you got to put respect on his name. No matter what we feel, you got to give the man props. I always like to say, you got to give props where props are due.
Of course.
And Drake deserves the props.
He does. Being
a bit of an asshole. I like that this is the J. Cole record that did it. Interestingly enough, fun fact.
Is it fun?
Fun fact. This is J. Cole's first number one.
I did read that. That is interesting.
And
that is also a big deal. So good for him. Good for him.
I mean, the home team getting a win.
Yeah.
The home team being J. Cole. For those who,
Oh, I thought you meant both of them because they're besties.
No, I don't like that bestie shit. But don't get me to hating. I was trying to give props.
Okay. Well, right on that note, I'll grab my water. Yeah, good for Drake. Listen. He may not be doing all the things we want him to do these days, but he's doing something.
He's doing a lot. I mean, he's doing enough to be the top guy in Billboard.
Right.
I gotta add that because I don't want the clip to say Drake's the top guy. JD says Drake's the top guy. Breaking news.
Chris would definitely make that a clip.
Breaking news. JD says Drake is the top guy.
Chris would absolutely make that a clip.
Yeah, nah, I can't have that.
No.
Top guy on Billboard.
No. But listen, good for him. We should talk about another collab that's coming.
Who that?
Kanye and Dolla $ign.
I thought that was really interesting because I didn't know shit about this. Did you?
No, I did not either.
I didn't know shit about this, and then all of a sudden it was just like, oh, Kanye and Dolla $ign album has been pushed back. I was like, what? Wait, what? What album? I was like, pushed back? There was a release date for this thing and I never knew about it? Right. How did that just fly under the radar?
I mean, it sounds like they were just going to, sneak it out.
So crazy. And then I thought what they did was really smart. Because with that announcement was the announcement that we are looking for a label to pick this up.
Yeah.
Which really said, nigga, we've been shopping this shit around.
Right.
And we letting all the people know at the same time, hey, it's still available. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
And what's more interesting, which I have thoughts about this album, we'll get to that in a second. But what's even more interesting is Rick Ross was like, hey,
over here,
fellas,
over here,
hey,
over here,
yo, fellas, hey, yo, big dog,
yeah,
hey,
yeah,
hey, yo, Ock. All right, Ninja Turtle, sorry. Hey, yo, Ock.
I saw the clip recently.
It was so funny.
I said, oh, okay.
Remember, it was the scene I told you. Yeah, funny.
I saw it.
Anyway, Rick Ross says he wants the album. He wants to sign that group, or I don't know what's the word, but he wants that project to be released on Maybach Music Group. I was like, okay, Rick Ross, I see you.
I mean,
that would be really interesting because that could definitely take Maybach Music back to where it was. But I gotta be honest, if I'm Drake and Dolla $ign,
probably not.
You don't got enough money.
Probably not, but
or enough industry pull, because if I do it.
But listen, Ross is buying everything up. He's buying all the cows. He's buying.
I didn't expect you to say that. I'm sorry.
He's buying all the cows. He's buying all the wings.
Yeah.
And And he's apparently trying to buy Drake and
Kanye
and Ty Dolla $ign's project. He started with the cows and now he's moving on to other things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. So what do you think? What do you think about this album we never knew about?
I think it will be interesting. I think it will have an interesting sound.
Yeah.
Ty Dolla $ign has such a distinct sound that I think mixing him with Kanye and letting Kanye play with that sound I think it would sound really interesting. I'm curious. Like, I'm trying to hear them together. And I hear Ty Dolla $ign more than I hear Kanye. But I think that's because Kanye is versatile and he kind of is able to, mold himself into a lot of different things, which is great. It's been a long time since I said something nice about Kanye West on this podcast. So,
that's true.
I'd be open to listening to it. I'm curious about it.
I agree, but feel slightly different.
Okay.
I think Ty Dolla $ign does not have a distinct sound because
really?
he does R&B, he does trap, he does EDM. He has range.
He does.
And so I think it's going to be I agree it's going to be really interesting hearing them two together because, like, what is Kanye going to do on EDM? Is he going to sing like he did on 808 and Heartbreaks? Is he going to rap? Mm-hmm. Is it going to be him doing the raps, Ty Dolla $ign doing the singing? Is it going to be a singing duet? I don't know. I'm really curious. Yeah. And I didn't ever listen to I forgot what they called their group, Children something, but it was Kanye, and when Kanye did the 7 projects he produced, it was Kanye and Kid Cudi.
Right, yeah.
I never listened to that project, but people say it was one of the better projects of the 7 projects. And so I'm curious, is this going to be similar to that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's exciting. I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting that this album is done and we don't know shit about it.
Right.
There's no snippets, and this is the era of snippets. You be hearing snippets for 6 months before a project drops.
That's true.
There's no footage, no pictures. I was about to say flicks. That's old. There's no pictures. We didn't see anybody buddied up on Instagram. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think it's interesting.
I do think it's interesting.
I am a little nervous.
Why is that?
Ty Dolla $ign is good on features. Albums, people have a lot of criticism of his albums.
I figure that's the way it's gonna go, though. It's probably gonna be mostly Kanye, and kind of like how Drake does his collab albums. I figured it would be like that.
I guess we'll see. But the other reason I'm nervous is because, for me, Kanye's hit or miss.
He is.
I don't like half of Kanye's albums.
He is.
Straight up half.
I
like, to a certain point, I like them. Then there's one I skip. Don't listen to it at all. Yeah. Then it's good again. And then since that one that's good again, I haven't listened to any of those. Or rather, I should say I haven't liked any of those.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that.
And it may even be 60-40 at this point. Or excuse me, 40-60.
Maybe.
I mean, like 40 and...
No, I get what you mean. But just to go back to Ty Dolla $ign for a minute, when I say that I think he has a distinct sound, I mean, no one sounds like Ty Dolla $ign.
Oh, you mean vocally?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant sonically, like the beats and the production and the songs.
A lot of things, but I mean specifically, Ty Dolla $ign sounds like Ty Dolla $ign. He doesn't sound like anyone else. You don't ever hear him and think that it's someone else on the track. You correct. Know that it's him. So that's what I mean. I think that he has a very unique sound, and so I think that would pairing that with Kanye for more than one song, I think would be really interesting, because I think that they could both kind of, do a lot of interesting things. But yeah, I'm curious about it. I mean, it wasn't something I thought I wanted or at any point, but I'm curious about what it will sound like. I will definitely check it out.
About oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying I'm curious.
Are you curious about the SZA Deluxe?
Of course. I love a little SZA in my life.
Let's tell them what's happening. Go ahead.
So SZA is releasing a deluxe album. She's adding 12 songs?
12 R&B-esque songs will be added to her most recent album.
Right.
It's supposed to come out early next month, I believe. Okay. Early November.
So soon.
Yep. In a few weeks. So it's what's it called? Kill Bill? Is that the name of the album?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever. Her most recent release, I know the one with her sitting on the thing.
It's Kill Bill.
It's Kill Bill, right? So it's gonna be 12 new songs. Everybody was complaining apparently, which it's a really good album. I think it's better than her first album, honestly.
I like her album.
That's just me. I don't know. Maybe y'all have a different take. I think it's better than her first album. But
people love the Control album.
I'm not the biggest fan of the Control album.
People love
I feel like it wasn't something for me.
I feel like I listened to the new album more than I listened to the old one.
Yeah, me too.
So,
but
if that means anything.
Apparently her core fan base was complaining that this was not an R&B album.
It sounded a lot more like Fifi Dobson, but
I hear you, and we did speak about that when we spoke about the album.
Yeah, which I didn't have a problem with, because I like a little pop.
Right.
Pop, 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 pop.
Yep. And so there's going to be 12 R&B-esque songs because she heard the complaints. She said, okay, I got y'all. I'm coming with 12 R&B joints then.
I mean, I appreciate her looking at it. I don't think she had to, but...
I just wonder, why not just release the 12 R&B songs as new project?
R&B album? Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder, does it have to do with the record sales, or is it something with the streaming? But I don't think so, because I remember another podcast was speaking about how the deluxe albums are separate albums when it comes to the count.
Yeah.
But then it gets weird too, because they were saying that what happens is if you have a song twice, whether it's on a single or it's on an album or on two separate projects or a re-release, whatever, as long as the song is the same length, the streams are counted laterally, unilaterally.
Okay.
I say that right?
I think so.
They count across the board.
Yeah.
And so if you have...
They count as one number.
They count as one number. So perhaps it won't matter because only the 12 new songs would count as new streams. Those other ones would all count as...
add to the old streams.
It would just add to the old
Which
streams.
Is smart, I guess, if you're trying to get those numbers up for your next project.
I just had a thought.
What's up?
Light bulb moment. Bing!
I was going to do it too.
Perhaps this is going to count towards the overall sales
right.
of the project. And she could say, oh, Kill Bill sold whatever millions of records.
That's what I'm thinking. It's like, even with a podcast, I would rather adjust something in the current episode than release a completely new episode that has to now pick up new impressions. I mean, it's a little bit different, but same idea.
Yeah.
So, makes sense.
Now, you know what doesn't make sense? Yeah, you do it. Because I know how excited you are about this.
Tell me what doesn't make sense.
I know you're excited. It's our last topic, but I know you're excited about it, right? Last topic?
Yeah,
last one. It's going to be a shorty.
Yeah. Are we talking about the other summer? Because we talked about Suzanne Somers.
This is the other summer. That was good. If we named our episodes like everybody else, I'd probably vote for the other summer. That was good. Yeah. So, the other summer. Tell them.
Summer Walker.
You gotta talk a little louder.
Summer Walker is releasing a remix album for the 5th anniversary of her previous album.
Of her first album, I think
of her first album.
And I could be wrong. I'm not the biggest Summer Walker fan.
Yeah, I mean...
So maybe we're wrong about which one it is. But one of the albums
I remember when it came
has been out for 5 years.
Yeah.
And so now she'll be re-releasing it, but not really. Tell them about it.
As a remix album.
What does that even? What's a remix? What does that mean? Tell the people what it means.
Is the remix. So she's putting some different sauce on the songs that were on the original album.
So the good word is that she's re-releasing.
Did you get the good word from the good book?
Nah, I don't even know what book that is, so I can't. Is this that Jungle Book? Is that the Jungle Book?
No, White Jesus' book.
Oh, White Jesus' book. Nah, I'm just playing. I know the good book reference. Everybody says that. I say that too, actually. So the good word is that.
How old are you?
Ancient. You know what I'm saying? 2 days. I'm 2 days older than water. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Let the Christians figure out that one. Anyway. So they're saying that she's re-releasing the album, but each song is gonna have another R&B girly. That's what they say now. The R&B chicks of today will be featured on the project. Okay. Which I don't know how many of them weren't out 5 years ago, but okay, like. I guess it's interesting because, like, for example, what would Ari Lennox sound like on blah, blah, blah song, right? I don't know the titles. I'm freestyling. But what would Ari Lennox sound like on the SZA song? What would Queen Naija sound like on the SZA song? Your girl. What would Coco Jones sound like? And so that's what it supposedly will be. It will be the album with new people. So it's going to be like the Babyface album.
Like a features album, basically.
All right.
Can I be honest?
You tired of collab albums? You tired of cats trying to be like, we the best?
No, it's not that I'm tired of collab albums.
You tired of talking loud?
But if I'm being honest.
Be honest.
I just don't care.
Why?
I don't know. I just don't care.
Okay.
I don't even remember the album. Like, I don't even remember, and I'm not saying it wasn't good, because I do remember that I listened to it. But I don't remember it enough to care that she's releasing an album, the album with remixes.
You want to ask them what you asked me about anniversaries?
And are we doing 5-year anniversaries now? Like, these milestones are getting smaller and smaller, and I get it. Like, I think that you should celebrate your wins, but what? Your first album came out 5 years ago. That's great, but what you want us to do? I mean, thanks for the remix album. I don't know. I just really don't care. I gotta be all the way honest. Like, please don't ask me to come on here and review this. I don't care.
Oh man, that would be so good. That would be so good.
I don't care. And maybe when it comes out, I'll feel differently. I don't know. But you told me about this and I was just like, okay.
I was confused.
Now what now? I was like, what am I supposed to do with this information? Because
that's how I felt.
It didn't move me in any way. I'm very curious about SZA's 12 songs that she's going to put out there.
Yeah. Come on, that's a totally different ballgame.
You told me about this and I was just like, huh? I don't want remixes from Summer Walker. I don't care. Like, no disrespect to Summer Walker. I just want to be clear about that. I just don't really care.
It is interesting because there are people who feel it was a classic album. That it was really good and it's aged really well. I'm just telling you, that's...
Over 5 years?
Music has been different over the last 5 years. And so people feel that it has aged well. And so that's cool.
Yeah. But
I never would think to do this. I gotta be honest. I might call some of the homies.
Yeah.
And see, like, yo, what's up? You want to throw a verse on the Remedy? Like, what's up?
Right. Yeah.
You want to jump on He's a Rebel? Like,
didn't Diddy do a remix album?
Oh yeah, of course. Yes.
But that, to me,
and he was standing like weird on the cover. Remember?
Yeah.
It was like him all the way down like this on the camera.
Yeah, but to me that was more interesting. But that was because that's kind of what he did. Like his whole business model was based on like taking music that already existed and making it his own.
Tell him. Where we take hits from. Huh? Shame on you for that.
When you said that, all I thought was, I'm talking about the hits. Nothing but the hits. Nothing but the hits.
Take hits from the 80s.
Oh, and do it sound so crazy? Yeah. Listen, I am off my game tonight. But
it's all right. No worries.
But I don't want to do that. I don't want to be the person who only likes the old stuff and can't understand the new stuff. And I don't think that's me. I think I'm very open.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
New stuff. But this one didn't do it for me. And maybe when it comes out, it'll be more interesting to me. I just don't. This is not something that I wasn't looking for a remix album from Summer Walker. Maybe if it was an album, and let's just take Summer Walker's name out of it for a second. Maybe if it was an album of someone that I really, really liked, or an album that I really, really listened to and have some sort of connection to, then maybe I would be like, oh my gosh, that's exciting. I can't wait. But I don't even remember what was on that album. So I'm just like, I wish everybody well in their future endeavors, and I hope that everybody enjoys this remix album. I think it's a cool concept. Let me be clear. I didn't say that, and I should say that. I think it's a very cool concept. I just don't think that this is the person that I want this concept from. Not yet. Not yet. And maybe that's why the 5-year thing is off-putting to me as well.
It's a little weird.
Because it's like, if Mary J. Blige says she was putting out a remix album,
for what's the 411?
Or anything, or like a compilation of 12 of her songs, and she created remixes for them today, I'm there. Sign me up.
I might have to call 12 friends. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Do it.
We'll see.
I'm just saying, like, the concept is really cool. It's smart. It's smart of her and her team. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm just not interested in it. That's it.
Got you.
Yeah. Sorry, Summer.
Not sorry.
Because I know they don't like when people talk about Summer. But, and we won't talk about the fact that this is the girl who don't like to perform in music. Maybe that's why I never got too connected to it. Cause then I'd want to go see it live. Anyway, that's our show.
That's our show. This was a quickie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes
we actually kept the topics
concise
today.
Yeah, our longest one was Tupac. I mean Jada. I mean Will. I mean
everybody.
I mean
everybody. And you know what? This is the remix.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's our show. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share it with a friend. Tell your mama. Don't tell Jada Pinkett. Write a letter to Tupac.
Don't tell Summer Walker.
Don't tell Summer Walker. We out of here. See y'all in 2 weeks.